All right, we are live, going live in all the places, including on Instagram. So I am Kitty Chambliss, Master Certified Coach, and I am here with a member of our team, Coach B, who is also certified as well with the ACC certification. And first off, we just want to say happy holidays to you and yours. Whatever you celebrate, wherever you are, we're sending you peace and love, and we are happy that you are here watching or possibly watching the recording. This will be our last Facebook Live together, Coach B and I, for the year. So we will be seeing you in the new year in 2025. And if you are seeing this across social media and you are looking to have a sense of community, know that we do have our private online community on Facebook. If you do a search for Loving Without Boundaries, Healthy Open Relationships and Lifestyle Freedom, you can find us there. If you're already part of our community there, we want to say thank you for being here. We appreciate you reaching out for help and finding your people who understand the challenges and the rewards of coloring outside of the lines of heteronormative monogamy. If you've been here for a while, thank you for staying with us and following our guidelines to stay a part of our community. If you're new, we want to say welcome, and we are excited to move into the new year with you as well. And we have some exciting things coming up in the new year that we will be announcing very soon. So with that, we have a beautiful topic today, which is staying empowered through the holidays. And I would like to give the mic over to B to get us started on that really important topic.
Thanks, Kitty. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you and happy holidays, wherever you're in the world and whatever traditions you follow, or even if your tradition is to not follow any traditions this time of the year. We really want to leave you empowered in a positive frame of mindset, because this time of the year, for really various reasons, can be challenging, whether you celebrate on your own, whether you gather with your family, whether like something happened for you this year. For example, this was the year when your relationship opened up and there's some grief present, for example, or there are new partnerships. There's so many like logistical and emotional challenges that can pile up throughout the end of your holiday season, that it's really important to just dive a little bit into like how can one stay empowered in the face of all this. And I want to give you a magic word that I really love, and that can be like a lifesaver and a game changer on your tool belt within your skill set. And this is intention and being intentional. So you've probably been on this planet for a while now, and you know yourself. You're an expert on yourself, and you know like what are the main trigger points throughout the holiday season for you. What has worked so far? What hasn't worked so far? For example, bringing up certain topics, or you know like how much duties you can take on. What are your constraints for your time and emotional availability. So based on that, I really want to encourage you to just think back through past experiences and set an intention for yourself based on what you know about yourself to be true, or maybe the people, maybe the family members that you meet throughout this holiday season, and create a game plan for yourself. So be proactive around how you want to show up. What is it that you would like to experience, and what are some ways that you can create that for yourself, like no matter how events unfold. And another powerful angle that I want to give you is the outcome. It's so easy to really want to have a positive experience, like love, joy, connection, whatever empowered means to you, and have our attention on our environment and other people, like how they show up. And I'm going to be happy and joyful if my partner behaves in a certain way, if I can manage to get things sorted, or if this particular event unfolds in a certain way. And I would love to empower you in the face of all that is, we often talk about here what we can and can't control. So we cannot control like how events unfold in the end, how other people behave or show up with and for ourselves. So a powerful way to empower yourself throughout the holidays is creating your outcome around how you're gonna show up for yourself and for others and with others. And with back, you can go back to taking back control and agency of your experience, so your behavior, your emotion, your thoughts, and your boundaries. And this is one of the most important sources of empowerment that any of us can create for ourselves throughout the holiday season.
Yeah. Thank you, B. And it's such a obviously timely topic. The holidays, we have sometimes this toxic positivity, like everyone's got to be super happy and be ready to hang out with all the people during the holidays. And we all get to decide how we want to move through the holidays, how available we want to make ourselves, because also the holidays can bring up a lot of stress. It can also bring up even past trauma when we're doing our best to navigate the holidays, especially when we are talking about those in untraditional relationships or in the LGBTQ plus community, because a lot of people in our community maybe are cut off from their family. Many people have been ostracized or just feeling left out sometimes during the holidays, or maybe not easily understood. Even in my own situation, I mean, yes, I am a relationship coach and I serve this community. That doesn't mean that I'm magically immune from those challenges that can feel very disempowering during the holidays. So I was just talking about it with my husband today. We were about to send out our holiday cards, which have my polycule on it. And we had to think, ooh, wait, did we come out to those people? Should we not send them our holiday card because they'll be asking who's that third adult on the card, you know? And also when we receive holiday cards, even though we spent years coming out to different people about how we do have a polyamorous dynamic and family living under one roof, we'll still get cards that are written to myself and my husband and leaving off my other partner who's been with me for almost a decade, right? So there can be microaggressions like that where people aren't intentionally trying to be mean or insensitive or inconsiderate, but there are so many ways of thinking about monogamy and traditional family creation that are so ingrained in people's minds and their behavior that it can be challenging for them to change, and maybe they're not motivated to change. So then it really, as B said, it comes on to you to figure out, wait a minute, I can't control other people's behavior or what they say to me or how they behave. The only thing that I can control is myself. So how can I move from feeling disempowered or maybe like a victim, or move from that maybe blaming energy where you're thinking, why are they treating me this way? Why don't they recognize and understand who I am and how I want to be in the world? When we can't control that. We can only control ourselves, our own boundaries, our own thought processes, and be able to create that self-awareness on what we need to do so that we feel as happy and as healthy as possible. And also to empower ourselves sometimes to say, no, I'm not able to go to 3 parties in one evening and be my best version of myself, or whatever that is for you, to help you to practice self-care, remembering that self-care is not selfish. So, but I really love this topic, B. So thank you for bringing this up, and I'll give the mic back over to you. And if you are online in a place where you can comment, feel free to chime in on the comments. And we're glad that you're here getting the support that you need.
Yeah, thank you, Kitty, for all that. And yeah, the sadness or frustration or disappointment or feeling isolated or excluded from certain communities can feel especially painful throughout the holiday seasons. Hearing about how you manage like the holiday cards. I can't imagine how it feels to be you, Kitty, but I could imagine that, yeah, in a similar situation. And I have my own things going on, like within my family when it comes to my being polyamorous. it, all sorts of emotions and triggers can come up,
Mm.
including like trauma triggers as well. So being intentional about what is it that you would like to experience, and just drawing that line in the sand that like, no matter what, I'm going to do my very best to have those experiences, even if other people don't behave that certain way that I want them to behave, or I would love them to behave. It's completely okay to have those particular needs for connection and acceptance. But sometimes it's difficult to face this particular reality, and how we can become our best friend is like setting that intention and being proactive. And with this, we can also avoid some traps like emotional exhaustion. Because let's be clear, like the logistics, the finances, balancing multiple relationships, it can be really, really draining for our body. It's mentally and emotionally draining. So it's really helpful tool to minimize that exhaustion and overwhelm with setting that positive intention that, okay, these are my top 3 emotional states that I would like to experience. And this is how I'm going to make sure how I'm going to be creative in providing this for myself, regardless of what's happening around me.
Thank you for that. Yeah. As you were talking, I do meditation, as you know, B, and for a lot of our clients, we talk about loving kindness meditations and another way to self-soothe yourself. So one thing that I treat as a meditation is listening to Abraham Hicks. There's a funny moment in one that I listen to that's about 15 minutes long. If I remember, I can put it in the comments here, about how she's talking about when we are looking outside of ourselves and blaming other people for the way that we're feeling, we are disempowering ourselves. We're giving our power away to other people when we blame other people for our emotion, for our experience, and how we're navigating. And she says, I'm not going to say it exactly the way she does, but it's something along the lines of, I've been training this person for years and they're still not behaving the way that I want them to behave after all those years of training, and it's feeling so futile. The way she says it is just hilarious. And in the lens of what we're talking about, one of my friends that you know of, B, she has a habit and a pattern of giving me what she calls an unvite, where she'll invite you to something with about 2 hours notice, or she's even invited me to a vacation with 24 hours notice. And I can't control her behavior. I can just control mine. So I just keep simply stating calmly, hey, if you want me to actually show up, I need more notice than 2 to 24 hours, because I'm busy. The calendar gets booked up. I'm sure you're busy too. So if you actually do want me to attend, I would really appreciate if you would give me more notice. And she literally did that, her and her husband, just this past Sunday. They gave me 2 hours notice on a school night to come to a party. And they didn't acknowledge that we know this is a last minute invite and you're probably not going to be able to make it. Instead, they were like, we're really bummed we're not going to see you. But it's an example of how I could have written a narrative around that or a story and felt very disempowered. And I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't annoyed. I was, but it is a great learning moment. And I know we talk about empowering questions here. We can ask disempowering questions or empowering questions. So I could have asked the question like, why does she keep doing this? This is so annoying. Is this never going to stop? Questions like that. Or what is it about me that I'm not communicating well enough that I would really prefer to have a longer notice if they really want me to attend something, or tell myself a story like they don't actually want me to come. That's why they're giving me an unvite and with no notice, or they're not considerate of my feelings. Like I can go down that road, but we can choose to observe what's going on and observe this is their pattern, it's their behavior, and notice that I can't control how other people show up, or I can't control that they don't want to change that pattern and they don't see anything wrong with it, especially if other people do show up with 2 hours notice. Okay, that's fine. I'm not one of those people that can typically just show up with a 2 hour notice. And I can instead move into, I'm so grateful that I have such a full life, that I'm not actually available at 2 hours notice. I'm so grateful that my life is that full of abundance, and really step into that abundance mindset. I can also say, I'm so grateful that I'm choosing to spend time with my polycule tonight, instead of maybe with other people that don't fully feel like they accept this all the time. I get to choose. I'm so excited that I get to choose how to spend my time and who to spend it with. And I choose to spend it with people who I feel are considerate of my time, and are really respectful of my modern family that I'm building. So just to give you a quick example, and even kind of look at it in a way that's humorous, that's another question I like to ask. What's funny about this situation? So we even just kind of named this pattern. I joked around with my husband. I was like, guess what just happened? And he's like, let me guess, your friend just invited you to something that's happening in 60 minutes. I was like, yes. And we just laughed about it, because, sometimes that's also great, is to just be able to find some humor, name the pattern, the thing that's happening, and have a laugh, and then move on with your day. So just an example of how to do that. And I'll go ahead and give the mic back over to you.
I want to pull out so much gold about what you shared, Kiri, staying in alignment with helping this wonderful audience to feel empowered throughout the holidays. So asking empowering questions. So instead of like, what's wrong with me? It's like, okay, what is the gift in the situation? What can I learn from this situation? What is funny about this? Possibly changing your focus from like what's wrong with me, and from the blaming, so taking back your power into gratitude and noticing the abundance that's already available in your life. I also heard from your share a really powerful healthy boundary setting with yourself, that I cannot control other people or how they show up for me. That's a beautiful example of setting boundaries. And building on what you shared, Kiri, I also want to touch on something that's also empowering, is noticing our internal narrative and our language, not only the type of questions that we ask ourselves, but pinpointing certain beliefs that may drag us down, such as I can't prioritize my needs. If I don't fulfill every obligation, there's something wrong with me. I should drop my boundaries throughout the holiday season, or at least some of them, because this is the holiday season after all. Or I have no control over how events unfold. I feel powerless in the face of things. Or if I don't show up perfectly for my partners throughout the holiday season, they will leave. So that's also part of being proactive, and just notice the language that goes on within your hand, and choose something that you would rather embrace instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how you walk that out and pulled out some of the gold there. And I hope that story is something that people can relate to. So if you are online and in the comments, let us know, are you resonating with what we're talking about? Can you relate to that? Do you have your own story that is either a microaggression, or a way that you can find some humor in a challenging situation, whether you're on social media, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and you have the comments, feel free to share that. And we can also notice that we get to choose whether we create a self-fulfilling prophecy, or we deepen any beliefs that are taking us away from our goals and away from feeling happy or the way that we want to feel. Or we can lean into empowering ways of thinking, more positive narratives, and the stories that we're telling ourselves. We get to choose, and that's so empowering to realize that, because otherwise we can deplete ourselves, exhaust ourselves, overwhelm ourselves, which is very easy to happen over the holidays. I mean, I think everyone can relate to that as well, and trying to get all the huge to-do lists done that we may all have, and also have maybe unrealistic expectations of ourselves, or trying to meet other people's expectations for how they think we should be showing up. So that's really where self-care is so important, and understanding how to set healthy boundaries, which is an ongoing journey, that we all are working on, myself included. So yeah, I'd love to give the mic back over to you, B.
Thanks, Gary. Something occurred to me when I heard you talking is also noticing where you might compare yourself and your journey, whether it's how you navigate the holiday season or where are you on your journey with your wins and struggles when it comes to consensual non-monogamy. It's so easy to feel trapped in that pattern, that comparing your path to the path of others. I keep saying that the only path worth comparing yourself to is how you were yesterday, how you were a year ago, how you were 10 years ago, and celebrate your journey, celebrate how far you have come. Because other people, they swim in their own lane, they run in their own lane. They are them, you are you. You are the beautiful you, and your journey is yours. And no one can compare to that. Only you can compare yourself to your past journey. So that can be one trap to avoid in order to lean more empowerment. Drop the comparative language and the comparative thoughts.
Yeah, I love that. And I always love the quote that comparison is the thief of joy. And I love it partly because on this topic of feeling empowered, to me, that is a very empowering statement. Comparison is the thief of joy because it puts the power in your hands to choose to not compare yourself to other people. You can compare yourself to your personal best, but and that's a healthy way to be. But comparing yourself to other people who are completely different than you just leads to more suffering. But what's great is you can let go of that suffering and decide how you want to show up in relationships. Be intentional with, do you want to call forth the best version of you, or do you want to keep letting that lower version of you that kind of wants to take you out or try to protect you with old survival mechanisms that maybe you used as a child that aren't really serving you today? You know, you can choose to let that go and be intentional with changing your patterns and observe what's going on instead of absorbing all the chaos or any negative energy that's around you. And of course, practice self-care, which is something that we've been talking about throughout our chat here. So if any of this is resonating with you, these are great concepts, but you think, gosh, I don't know how to apply these, and you're looking for help, I want to let you know that we are here for you, and you can feel free to get on my calendar. Most likely there won't be any time slots left for this year because we do take a break for our self-care. We like to practice what we preach. So we'll be taking some time off over the holidays, and then we'll be going and taking calls in the new year. But either way, you can get on my calendar now if you want to have a chat to see if working with a mentor or a coach who really understands the LGBTQ plus community, who practices polyamory herself. I identify as hetero flexible and in part of the queer community. And you want to have a chat to see how you can apply some of these principles and really hit the ground running and make 2025 your best year yet, armed with tools, armed with a support network. I invite you to go to that link that we just put on the screen, lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. You simply go to that link. It will find a time in my calendar, most likely in January. There will be a brief intake form for you to fill out just to set us up for success on the call so I can get to know you and your situation better. And when we get on that call, we're just going to have an authentic and honest conversation to assess where you're at. And I'll be checking, do you have the qualities to succeed? Are you ready for positive change? Are we a fit to work together? And if so, we can talk about what that might look like to do that and come up with a game plan. And if we're not the right fit or it's not the right time, you do have my word that I will let you know that, and I will steer you in the best direction for you so that you do get the clarity and the support that you need. So again, that link is lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. So if you are looking for a coach or a mentor in this space, know that this is what B and I are super passionate about doing. We bring 150% of ourselves to this work. It's really, really important to us. And we are here to help. And if now's not the right time to book that call, that's fine. You can also find support in our online community on Facebook, or you can go to my podcast, Loving Without Boundaries, which has won awards. and it's been nominated for Women in Podcasting in 2024. And know that we are here to support you. So with that, I'll give the mic back over to you, B, for one final time, and see if you have anything else you'd like to add.
Yeah, I would like to add some questions that I prepared again to help empower this amazing audience. So, question number one: what are the top 3 emotional states that you would like to experience over the holidays? Like Kiri talked about gratitude, we, I believe, mentioned joy as well, fun, connected. So, what is it for you? Question number 2: what are the most important boundaries for you for this holiday season, including how you care for yourself and how you choose to interact with others? So, again, it's intentionality and boundaries. Question number 3: what intention do you choose to set to stay aligned with your emotional goals? If things feel challenging or they don't go as planned, how might you ground yourself in that intention? And also, like, giving yourself compassion. Like, we can set the best intentions, and sometimes, like, something happens, a trigger comes up, and oops, okay, I'm off of the original plan. So it's important to lean into self-compassion and compassion for others as well, and just set an intention, like, okay, if things don't go as planned, I may go off the rails with my behavior. Like, how can I find my way back there while dropping the gavel on myself? So leaning into compassionate love.
Love that. Thank you, B, for those beautiful, empowering questions to go with that theme, empowered through the holidays. So know that we care about you. We love you. We're glad that you're here getting the support that you need. Know that you are not alone in doing your best to live your most authentic life, free from jealousy and insecurity, shame and guilt, or the pain of infidelity, so that you can fall back in love with yourself and have self-acceptance, and also so that you can feel unstoppable. That's our mission now, and it's going to be our mission going into 2025. And we will have some cool announcements on things to come in the new year, and look forward to that soon. And in the meantime, feel free to comment in the chat if this resonated with you and how you are going to take some of what you learned here to feel empowered through the holidays. So with that, we want to say happy holidays to you and yours, however you celebrate, if you do, and happy new year. And we'll see you on the other side. Take care.